All right, you good to go? Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, October 23rd, 9 o'clock in the morning. I will now call this Board of Harbor Commissioners for the Town of LaPointe. Meeting of the Board of Harbor Commissioners for the Town of LaPointe to order. First up on the agenda is roll call. With us, we have Jay Wiltz, present. Michael Collins.
Here.
Evan Erickson.
Here.
Myself. Don Carlson.
Here.
Mary Ross.
Here.
Staff present. We have Katie. Robin and Cal are here from Miffle, and we have Evan Erickson Senior in the gallery. First up on the agenda, public comment. Next up on the agenda.
I did get the contract from the school district with Viking Motors and for after school trips for sporting events, other things. They pay the school districts have charged an hourly rate for the driver, whatever rate of pay, and then mileage. So it's not a flat fee. So, you know, if they're going to Butternut, it's a lot more expensive than if they're going to Washburn.
I would request LLC would request that the Harbor Commission write to the school and ask or require that the teachers and staff have ID badges. It's hard for our crew to identify trucks serving free transport. So we would handle it the same way as we do with the students. Students give us their badges, or they show their, they show the picture on the phone. And that would be good to get that as soon as possible.
Have they been issued badges yet? The staff?
We didn't do badges for them. I thought the school had an IT,
Okay.
but it doesn't.
I think they do.
Huh?
I thought they did as well.
Yeah, but they haven't shown them to us. Some people wear around their neck,
Right.
but other people. So it has, I would say it has to Harbor Commission to the school. No free transport unless they show a badge and then give it to the collector.
Would Miffle like to create the badge once they have the list of identified staff members?
Well,
Want the school to
I think
make-
the school district, I mean, we would have to order, we have 25, 26 blank badges, they say student, I mean, we should make something.
I think if they're existing teacher ID,
Just their idea would suffice for you
Yeah,
guys.
the teacher and staff.
The only issue I see is if a sub gets called the night before or something and, you know, it's a brand new sub,
They get ID, so when they
immediate.
become, I think when they
I have
become
no idea.
employed.
But they shouldn't, I mean, I'm sure they go through criminal checks also.
Yeah.
the hand of it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the other commission has got an attendance record. People stay in the house out there. I think you should have an attendance record so you know who's coming and going and to know what shifts people from the mainland go to covering their shifts.
Yeah.
Because that's where we rented the house. Be nice to know how much is being used for the purpose of renting it for. I hope we do. And it's what
I believe we did, Evan.
you have.
I think we got an email with that, yeah. With that.
You get it each week then?
Well, we just got our.
Once a
first
month. And we got one for August too,
For the last
earlier,
month.
and then this one was just
Okay.
for September.
Yeah, I think it's for September.
Probably through the see,
Yeah, it's all public documents.
yeah, I can see that.
You'll have to make a public document request.
I would also offer for Evan is that the ferry line would rent a unit at with the pub. January, February, March, sometimes April. To be on standby for crew from Walter State, so that North End housing, I think, would sub into that. And the North End housing is cheaper. We'll work on it.
Any further public comment? Move on to the minutes of October 6th, and the 13th, unless we want to do them individually.
Approved minutes for the regular meetings on October 6th and October 13th.
A second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, Chief Administrative Officer report.
So I have the current balance in the Harbor bank accounts. This is as of Tuesday, October 21st. The municipal utility checking account was at $847,967.90. Since then, our payment to non-key contractors has cleared. So that was prior to that. As you can see, we do have another money market account set up, which we've been putting essentially kind of the funds that did not need to be set aside for our debt service payment into that account. I've been speaking with Katie Abbott, and I think we are going to switch that to a Premier money market account. They started us off with Primer or Full National, started us off with this account specifically because we didn't really know like how many transfers we were going to be making, but I think we have a pretty good idea of that now, and I think we can get an even better interest rate on that account.
Katie, item C under 1, the 968,000, is that now fully funded? The revenue payments that we need to make?
So the B, the debt service fund savings account, that is the account and the amount that is set aside for all of the December 1st. Basically, the remaining 2025 debt payments that are needed to be paid. The C account, that is just our reserve fund that is required to have 525,000 in it, but that is also holding our HAP grant funds.
The HAP 368 was transferred out of this account.
Yeah, so
town
that's
account to
not
pay
the
it
full
in September.
800,000. As a portion of HAP grant funds plus that.
Thank you.
Just since our last meeting, we have made 3 different transfers. The first one was for the Yankee contractors. The second one was transferring basically the funds that were not needed to be set aside for the debt service payments to that new account. And then the third one was just an additional amount of idle funds to that money market account. October revenue as of Tuesday was $472,735.21, which is just over 94% of our budgeted income for the month.
Good.
So hopefully we can keep it that trend. And then I did provide the reports for the month of September, including the Mithel's report to the Harbor Commission, which Robin did as we requested and did the comparison for 2025 passenger count to 2024 passenger count for the month. Thank you, Robin, for adding that in there.
I'm going.
But just a question on, we're assembling lots of good data now. Is there a way of taking the format, which is already established and really clear, and making it public? Is there a way we can shift this to a website where anyone could take a look at the same things we're looking at?
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be a great idea. I feel like we've gotten many questions about the Harbor Commission's like kind of information website, which I know that was just kind of not ruled out, but it was put on hold because we didn't really know the best way to share that or to do a whole new website or just have it.
Also on content, we were
Yeah.
confused about, this is not a confusion. You've got it laid out beautifully.
Michael, are you talking about financial information or ridership information?
Both.
Both, okay.
Yeah, Alex actually showed me the other day, I guess what Lee had come up with as a template.
Last year, yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like, and that could be part of the town's website, right? And just then under that, we've got like financial data, and I think there were other things that you populate as you need.
Yeah, and that was something that Alex and I discussed as well. If nothing else, having the like Harbor Commission page on the town's website.
Mhm.
Revamped a little.
Exactly.
If the Harbor Commission's fine, at least ridership, I mean, anybody can do public records for the financial data, but we could work
I
on
would
what needs to be shared.
put the financial data up there too.
Yeah, we could.
With all the line items, it's public
It's done.
record anyway.
Yeah,
And the format is really clear. I mean, it's easy to read and it's already available. And there are a bunch of people who probably would appreciate it.
And then anyone who calls and says, could I get
Refer them to the
on the website?
I think that that's a great idea because that page is already essentially, it's already established. It just needs to be revamped kind of. And I did discuss that with Alex, and that's something that ideally we could start working on like by the end of the year. A lot of stuff going on with budget and everything, but
Okay, so this is something that is gonna happen. Do we need to do any more than just have this discussion?
I mean, Alex and I had already kind of planned to revamp, not necessarily adding in a bunch of information, but just kind of making that page look a little better on the town's website. I'm happy to, if this information is something we want added, definitely include that.
Is it something that you would work with our public outreach committee, Susan and Michael?
Yeah, I
to
can
find this? Is
basically
there input that
anything
you would want to have?
add, I can.
I was thinking about that, and I think the format, what you've already delivered to us, doesn't need manipulation. I was thinking, wouldn't we want to have some kind of a dashboard that would sort of highlight and aggregate the information in sort of headlines? I don't think so, because the format is really clear. And if anybody wants to know, there it is. So I don't think it's a manipulation, really, of anything that you've already done. I think it's just a matter of transferring it to public attention.
Michael, if I can jump on that, I think that maybe as a first step, I know some of us get daily those financial reports. I'm not suggesting that you do daily updates on the website.
No.
So maybe the monthly,
Yeah.
reports. can
The
go up there.
year-to-date, the September,
Yeah,
and then the year-to-date I do each. I mean, so, I'm sorry, I interrupted, go ahead.
so, put the monthly on, but I do think that the rest of the Harbor Commission would probably appreciate the reports that Jay and Zach and I get every morning. You could just include the rest of the Harbor Commission on that, because then you see it, it's this stuff, Mary, but every single day updated.
I don't know if I can see everything.
Well, no, probably not gonna find ourselves every day, but the thing that I liked about it, when I saw it, because I saw what you were getting every day, is the format is so clear. It's not a mysterious arcane document. It's something people will appreciate.
And you get to watch every day the percentage,
Yeah.
change of how much,
It's like.
I look at revenue, basically, I just look at the revenue numbers and see how we're doing on revenue for like on a daily basis. And, to be at 95, almost 95% for October, and then to see, I just saw today's and it's 95.2%. Oh, tomorrow it's 95.7%.
It's a fun read, but
So unless you don't want to do it, but I find it interesting.
Now you just have one more email
To
every
delete.
day to more for me.
Well, you just add names to the current one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I can.
thank you. That's great. I'd like to be able to talk a little bit about this in upcoming Gazette, to say that we're going to be becoming, it's about as transparent as you can get, getting the same materials to you that we get ourselves.
Well, I also think that that's really good timing with the informational meeting that we're trying to have in a month and a half.
Exactly.
Then if we can ideally have this updated by them, then we can like. present
Everybody-
that.
I was gonna say,
Everybody has it.
That would be,
Well, that's also gonna Cause I don't have like access to any of that, so it's gonna kind of depend on how Alex and schedule.
Are we gonna need a tech person also to get it set up, or is it
He
straightforward?
has it. I mean, essentially Lee Baker has like made
A
a
template.
page that hasn't been like published. So I'm assuming that I haven't had like no access to this, so I'll have to talk to Alex about it, but I'm assuming it can just be modified and we can potentially then Alex has the ability to publish it.
Can you get the ability to, through her to publish onto the Harbor Commission part?
Eventually I'll ask her.
Because I don't think she wants to be having to.
Doing the daily
Yeah,
update.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
thanks.
Let's let the record show that Susan Widmar joined us at 9:15.
Rob and I have a question, is that, I saw we had an invoice for the repairs to the hearing shed. Is it completely done
No,
for,
it's not painted yet.
no, I understand that, but all the rotten wood, all that stuff has been replaced and
Yeah,
repaired.
I understand, yeah.
That's great, it was like, what, $2,000, it wasn't
Yeah.
outrageous.
It'll be, we have on the agenda to restain two sides of the building, the west and the south next year. I expect that there will probably be quite a bit of repair there too. Just because of the sun damage and some lash up on the side. But yeah, it looks nice and it came in way under budget, so that was good.
Anyone who have any other questions about the report, some off the top of the answer.
The January and September budget versus actual, is that the one you said we didn't print?
That was just an email.
Yep.
There's,
Yep, got
we
it.
have not figured out a way to print that, so
Got
it is, you
Right,
can just read it.
Is there a way?
Like 20 by 10?
None
Yeah,
that any of us in town
Yeah,
know how to
right.
read it.
Yeah, because it is nice to be able to, Go for it.
Everybody.
right, yeah,
Absolutely.
okay.
Moving on to the Apple Fest weekend traffic. We were up in traffic in every category from 2024 to 2025.
Such a nice weekend, other than the wind.
That was perfect.
We have those numbers.
There,
It's-
Yeah, behind the profit loss receipt.
Oh.
It's an email.
Oh. Okay, sorry, got it.
And then Mitchell provided the email, just basically for the month, for the North Shore rental log, for the month of September. They did have the new hire info in there for the entire month. He was available for the nighttime emergency runs. Maybe, and this is something maybe I can work with Robin and having like a little bit more of like a chart log for the rental, with kind of specifics that we would like to know.
is he still in there, Enzo?
Robin's
Moved out the 10th October.
Even if it's just one person in there, so I think this would suffice, but if it's multiple people.
Yeah, but since the one person's on there, maybe it might be easier for people to fill out too as well. And then last on my report is the 2026 budget update. Which, for the budget committee, I did a little bit more on this yesterday as well, but just as an update for the entire commission, we are currently at, a $495,000 deficit in our budget. That is having not touched the ticket sale revenue yet. That's basically going off of 2025, January through September actuals, and then the budget for October, November, and December. We also have not finished going through line item by line items yet for the expenses. Our next budget meeting is tomorrow at 8 AM. I am happy to send along kind of the budget totals and what we have so far, but ultimately still in the works. But each meeting seems productive and we close that gap a little bit each meeting, so.
Sounds like you're making progress and thanks to budget committee.
Budget committee, yeah.
We're done.
Budget committee and Robin and Cal all resent the updates that I did yesterday. For tomorrow's meeting, I'll also have that prepared.
I'd like a copy after Friday.
I can do that.
Has the Harbor Commission completely made a blanket statement that we are not putting anything on the 2026 levy? Because if we are, we need to get that submitted to the town, because it's got to be part of the budget hearing / town meeting in December.
Katie was at that meeting. I don't know if we,
I think. And so this is the gray area. I know what deficit we're at, because it has never happened before, and I'm basing kind of how this meeting has gone for the 2026 budget based on last year and the gap that we were at. And I don't see that needing to happen, but I also don't know what deficit we need to be at to say, yes, we need to do this.
And
We know Friday.
It's not a monetary amount. It's, I mean, it could be $1, it could be.
Yeah, I think with the deficit that we're at and the fact that we haven't even like touched like the revenue ticket sales or anything like that yet, or finished going through the expenses, I feel like there are different avenues of closing that gap rather than the tax levy. But that is just
I don't,
that is simply me basing where we were at last year, but where we're at this year.
You'll know more after tomorrow, right?
Ideally, we will have gone through all the expense categories after tomorrow. And see, then it will be, now how do we finish closing that gap?
Well, to Mary's point, this is something we're gonna learn pretty quickly. So if there is a need, but
The budget has to be finalized. But mid-November?
Yeah, mid-November is when we publish it. We're working on it right now and, we're looking at deficit as well. At this point, narrowing it down, we're meeting again tonight, the board. Just for, my perspective is it would be horrific if we did not have to put $1 on the tax roll this year. We didn't have to last year. And it'd be nice to show that that wasn't just an anomaly, that, we really are operating this at pretty close to break even. And so I hope that, if there is still a deficit, that either we can figure out, capital projects that could be deferred or tariff increases. We did a big tariff increase last year. I would hope that if we do a tariff increase, it would be smaller this year. But we did. So far, we've brought in about close to $1 million more in ticket revenue than last year.
yeah, our cash position is better significantly than it was a year ago.
and can some of these projects be funded out of existing savings? To eliminate the,
Well, that's the other thing that we have, going right now, about $1.5 million in that money market account. It may be, knock on wood, that amount can substitute for us needing to draw on either a line of credit with the town that we did last year, or the line of credit that we have with Bremer Old National now for 600,000, I think is that line of credit. So we're, I think we're gonna be able to get hopefully through at least a few months of the winter
Yeah.
through using that. And then, we'll see, but if we don't have to pay interest expense, on that amount, that's a savings also. I'll move that we place the CAO report on file.
A second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Harbor Assistance Program project updates.
No major updates as of right now. Meeting with Erica tomorrow and Rich, the zoning and planning director. So we've got that. That's just it was originally scheduled or tentatively scheduled as a kind of a sign off, but since we won't have the dredging and piling complete, it's just a kind of like a walkthrough, get familiar with what's going on. So, I believe she's got kind of a whole tour of Wisconsin lined up, and we're a stop on her tour there. So that's tomorrow at noon. Outside of that, some of the pending items is we will be, submitting a reimbursement request for the Yankee construction here shortly. And we're still waiting from Cooper on a change order price. I followed up with them this week, and they say they should have it here shortly. But it has been confirmed by Erica that we don't have any issue again waiting until next year to do these things. So in fact, we have until 2027 to complete it. That's not, of course, the goal at all. I want to get this dredging and these piling in right away in the spring, but just to kind of paint the complete picture there. So that's where we're at as of right now. We're waiting for that change order price. From there, again, I'll come back to the Harbor Commission with a recommendation, and we'll proceed, from that, decision as far as how do we want to move forward with, the dredging and piling going out to bid. I expect that to be happening here in the next month or two, with dredging and piling being completed sometime in spring. So outside of that, no major updates. I don't know if anybody has any questions. That's the last remaining part of the HAP grant. And once that's complete, Erica would come back, do a walkthrough, verify everything, and release the additional percentage that was withheld.
Yeah. Al, I guess a couple of questions.
Yeah.
First, just so everyone, is clear. So Rich, we had the communication from the LLC a couple months ago, clarifying what they feel is their role in grants, and it's kind of minimal. And so we're fortunate that we have Rich Kula, who has administered and granted, hundreds and hundreds of Department of Transportation grants through the FAA. And so the plan is that he will start to be doing that kind of thing. So it's a good idea for him to meet Erica, who's the new Mike Halstead. And in that regard, Cal, I would just ask if Rich doesn't, and I know you're not going to be involved in this, but if you could find out from her where the ferry boat program allocations and the process, if she can share with Rich and you what the process is for us to start to get funding for, I believe, next year.
Yes.
And my understanding is that it needs to be for specific projects. So anyhow, if we can get her thinking about that and share with us what we need to do to keep that moving, that would be awesome.
100%. Yeah, that is a pretty high priority. So I'll follow up with her and key Rich into that as well.
Great, thank you.
What's Erica's last name?
I just have her down as Erica.
So do I.
Yeah.
What's Erica's last name?
Klutmir. Klutmir. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Kluetmeier.
That's why we don't have.
That's my color error.
I didn't remember it.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll have to add that I was one of the late boat riders last night and we came back in the rain and it was very encouraging to see that puddle slowly make its way across the apron and back into the lake.
We don't need a
That was
sump pump anymore?
We didn't last night, but
Yeah, it is working. We don't, there's still we've diminished the size of it significantly. The puddle over by the freight area, we've cut the size of that in half by kind of creating a little channel in the bricks to get it over to where the puddle in front of the ramp used to be. And that puddle is now, a tenth as deep and a tenth as large. It's still there, and we can still fix that in time through shifting some bricks. But yeah, it's no longer the problem. I don't believe we'll need that sump there anymore. So it's a pretty great change.
Absolutely.
anything else for Cal?
I guess, and I'm believe that'll probably be in the approval of bills. But I didn't know if anybody wanted to ask anything about the change order, if there's any questions on that.
These are the ones we talked about already, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and then I provided
The cost
the
was so high
additional.
because the transportation of the gravel.
Of the gravel, right.
The gravel bike in itself wasn't outrageously expensive, it was the travel getting it. We know why they went so far south to get it.
That was the quality, I believe, was part of it.
Yeah, that's just what they sourced as their location. And I think originally it didn't seem like a big deal just because they weren't using as much. And then, that changed. But as they said, they did do a lot of work. And I can attest to that. Even the puddle right there is a perfect example. Was, that of course was not in the bid, but they worked with us in reshaping some of the bricks and, contouring everything to help with that. And they didn't, request a change order for any of that work. So there was quite a bit of freebies we've gotten thrown in.
That is included in the bills. We'll be approving it.
Excellent. Okay.
Move on to number 7, consider approval of 2025 tariff updates.
Just by adding free ferry,
Yeah,
one of the items.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Well,
the-
before you do that,
Let's get,
um,
this might be a good time to talk about also the student part-time resident travel.
right,
And so I think what we'd like to do, what I think we'd like to do is to provide for reduced fare equal to what the Bayfield School District pays for students who aren't attending the Bayfield School District. But because it's not part of the contract with the Bayfield School District, I think we need to put it in as a tariff along lines. So I would propose that we modify where it says Harbor Commission policy for gratis ferry transportation. I would say gratis/reduced ferry transportation. And then after number 5, I would say the Harbor Commission provides reduced fare for Madeline Island resident students not attending Bayfield School District equal to the amount that is the contract with the Bayfield School District.
Do you know what that amount is, Glenn?
I think it's $8 each,
$9.
$9 each way.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was
How do you qualify as resident? They pay taxes here? Because if you've got somebody who's just up here for the weekends or
Yeah.
typically live in.
I think-
And their kids wouldn't be going to school up here.
No, they are, and that's the ones that are called, so that could mean, if you're saying resident, you could mean summer kids too.
Students though.
But they could be students if they're not in Bayfield school, they could be students anyway.
Yeah,
Well, so we've got Madeline Island resident students for the free for the summer and the
Well,
weekend.
I think the only people in question right now, I'm not positive, but they are attending Washburn, right? Which has some kind of reciprocity with Bayfield.
Depending on Stillwater.
I'm sorry, what?
Stillwater,
Stillwater, okay.
somebody who used to live here.
My father's a full-time resident.
So I think she has a point. I think if
More
they're,
than 50% of the year?
well, I think that the thing has to be that the school district has to have either reciprocity or be with Bayfield. Otherwise, I think Robin brings up a point that anybody with a student anywhere
Mhm.
could apply for that rate if they have a home here, which would open a pretty big can.
Can of worms.
I think the simplest way would be to add language to the effect that, they reside here more than 50% of the year. Or.
Does that mean
majority of the year.
I'd say 75%.
But how do you,
Well, yeah, we can't keep.
how's the railroad
It's more-
commission gonna see that?
It's an, it's more of an
Want us to prove
interpretation.
that.
I think if you narrow it to the school districts that have reciprocity with Bayfield, then it eliminates students from, California saying that, well, we also have a place here on that.
Does Ashton have this person?
I don't think so.
Because there's one person that would be covered by this.
What is what is the, I'm not.
Yeah.
Well, Washburn and Bayfield can attend each other's schools. They can,
That's just
so,
open enrollment. That's not reciprocity.
well, they also have some kind of reciprocity with their, this came when my kids were going to Washburn. We had to seek compensation from Washburn we were attempting to get Washburn to pay Bayfield for their portion because they do that for each other. So you can go to Washburn and take the bus to Bayfield or something. There's some kind of transportation agreement they have. That's what we entered when this thing came up when my kids were going to Washburn. And Robin had to make some differentiation between some other students. And I think that's what it came down to, was that the other students weren't attending a school that has some kind of open enrollment or agreement with Bayfield.
Cal has a question.
Why don't we have,
Oh, Cal, go ahead.
And I just wanted to comment, I think, homeschooled kids, is another field that is of direct consequence in this decision as well, that, language to either include or disclude, that situation for residents who have homeschooled children.
why don't we have a student pass rate? And then, because students already have their badges for getting on the boat. These students that we're talking about could also be issued a student pass. And then we have our policy for what dictates being issued a student pass.
Keep it more vague in the tariff. Kind of
Yeah, but then you still have students, English.
But they wouldn't have a badge.
No, but why do you give this person a badge and not this person?
I think that's going to put Miffle in a tough position of deciding who can and can't.
Well, we could have a policy of, you must have one parent who resides in the town of La Pointe as a policy to get that student pass.
But I don't think the student who lives in Stillwater should have any reduced fare whatsoever.
What if their father lives here year round?
Doesn't matter. I think it should just be the Shawinigan Bay area. I don't think it should extend it to Luther, Stillwater, or.
I agree philosophically with Mary. I just don't know how to verbalize it.
So for this, does that include the summer benefit also? She's here living with her dad on the island during the summer?
I would say no, but
Well, it sounds like this needs some more thought.
Yeah,
I think so.
So I would then just move that we adopt as presented the gratis ferry transportation policy. And submit that to the Railroad Commission and not deal with the part-time resident issue at this point.
We'll table that and
Do it maybe as part of the full tariff discussion.
Go ahead, Susan.
Just to throwback. When we moved up north to go to school, it was on the basis of owning property on the island because it is this payment of school district taxes that made it possible. whether we were part-time, full-time, or anything else, the ultimate argument was that we are paying into the school system.
So what you just moved to approve, did that include changing the gratis? Actually.
No.
Reduced
No,
or,
strictly just adding number 5. Passenger and vehicles.
Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
and then I did have that page printed off in front of you, but a stack of bills that included the teachers. That would be.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, we haven't seen that. So also weekday work travel for school teachers and staff with ID, right?
Yes.
But Bayfield School District, not Washburn School District, Bayfield School.
Bayfield school teachers.
So you can maybe add with
I don't think it needs to be in the tariff. That's more of.
They need an ID.
Implementation.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
with
just
that,
one.
1 through 6.
6.
Right, we got 1 through 6.
There was an updated one.
Yeah, that's an updated.
Oh,
It's just adding.
gotcha.
I would add that it's the commission's goal is to provide everybody this equal discounts that other people are receiving. But we got to make sure that we're not going to muddy the waters for the future for people from all across the country or students from wherever, because that's not the intention, right?
Right.
We're just gonna have to have a further discussion
Right.
on how, and if we dictate that.
Right.
So there was a motion on the floor to approve as amended 1 through 6.
I'll second.
Evan seconded. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Right?
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up on the agenda is discussion on legal counsel to draft letter to Bayfield Harbor Commission.
Yeah, and based on the conversation that we had with our attorneys, you know, they're willing to write a letter, but they want on the issue of admiralty law to be able to consult with our admiralty law attorney. And I think that, you know, it's not really ultimately for us, it's not a legal issue. I think it's a political issue for us. And so I think I would not suggest that we have a letter written by any lawyer to the Harbor Commission. I think that we could have a letter written from Zach to the Harbor Commission of Bayfield, indicating what we've all been talking about, which is that, you know, we continue to support what Mifflin's attorney has stated to them. And, you know, we'd be happy to sit down with them and talk about, you know, our entire relationship. Something, you know, I mean, I'm happy to help draft something, but
Do we make our original offer to them?
I don't think I'd put in a dollar amount at this point, unless we want to really set their expectations low. But I mean, that's up, whatever you guys think is.
Yeah, your intention is a discussion.
I'm happy to have a letter drafted on my behalf
Okay,
and contribute to it.
Sure.
I didn't quite see the point in having an attorney draft it after the last
We
meeting.
see the entirety of the amounts discussed, probably. The maritime lawyer is not cheap.
no,
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
So the Harbor Commission has a maritime lawyer.
yes.
Yeah,
itself. Okay.
pricey.
Like $600 or $800 an hour.
Could that letter, even if it's a draft form, get sent to the other commission members? When it gets sent out,
Sure.
just to keep.
We
us-
could add it to
keep
a
us-
future, we could add it
keep
to
it-
a future agenda to review.
Or
it,
just keep
approve
it in the, I just want to see it. I mean, if you want to make it an agenda item, that's fine.
Okay. Do we need a motion?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Next up, discussion on request for a cross-country ski trail on Middle Road property.
I hadn't seen anything about that.
So Ken Myrie had reached out. They want to reroute
Right there.
Oh,
part of the backyard trail, which used to run through Gip and Lauren's yard. They'll keep it from the beginning of Capser Trail on Middle Road. He'll continue the trail east on the opposite side of the road, cut across and then follow the tree line through.
Join the trail right there. Who owns that property on the north side of Middle Road though? That's the question.
I think that might be Wilderness Preserve.
I think it is, yeah. But I
And
could,
isn't that where the sanitary line goes through?
That's
To
a
the
little
airport.
further down the road. But
it runs underneath that, but I mean, they're not digging.
Well, I'm not worried about that. I just didn't know where the cut was that went
It's right before,
to the airport.
right before Chucky's storage unit is where it
Oh.
makes the turn.
And the town, and I think the Harbor Commission also voted on giving Greg Nelson a driveway easement. So if you know where that new driveway that went in
Mhm.
over there, so it would be basically, I guess, right to the west of his driveway is where the trail would pick up and then go back along that edge.
Can't it just go up the driveway? Why does he have to cut a new trail?
I don't think he has to cut anything.
Maybe
I don't
it
think he
does go
plans
up
on
the
cutting
driveway.
trees. I think he just wants the access.
No.
Yeah, maybe the driveway is the thing.
I don't think he would want to use it because it's plowed.
Well, true,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
but
he-
just immediate to the side, one side of the driveway or something.
He is
But that's
requesting,
great because they're parking there. That's wonderful.
putting up, and it's all putting up a small
Temporary.
portable shelter to house the groomer, probably behind the white garage.
And for that, we do have a square footage rate that we do have with the town for charging for something like that.
I don't know that we would
would that be up
charge,
to the town board or the Harbor Commission?
I don't know that we would charge the nonprofit ski trail
I don't care at all. I'm just curious. Who's
for
the-
an 8x8 spot. I mean, he does a lot of work for the community, clears all those trails, he grooms them.
Yeah, as long as we're
It's a
following.
policy.
And I think it's a great idea, as long as Miffle doesn't have a problem with it. I know that they use that area for storage of,
Being back in the white garage is almost falling down.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that brings up another point. I mean, the garage is almost falling down, but the Quonset hut thing, half of it has basically.
Yeah, the snow load, it was last year that.
Yeah.
3 years ago.
And, you know, I don't necessarily think that it's, you know, a safety concern per se to let them, you know, cross-country ski past those things, but it does bring up the fact that I think at some point, the Harbor Commission and Miffle need to figure out what we're gonna do with those three structures. Because, you know, probably we ought to be thinking about bulldozing them all.
I know Tyler's still pursuing burning them.
Okay.
I just got an email to that.
Probably just the house, I'd imagine.
I'm not sure.
Are all three structures empty?
No. And we
Is
need.
there anything in the Quonset hut?
Michael Brenna has things in there.
Still?
Yeah, they need to get that
Oh,
out.
that,
I think so. I mean, I haven't looked at it lately.
And,
we talked about that last year.
yeah,
Cal, did you have something you wanted to?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I mean, we're, you know, the primary use of what we need that for is relatively flexible and we're able to move it, you know, so I think as far as, you know, this impacting our operations, I think we're pretty flexible there. And, you know, if we had to move something to a different location, I don't think that would be a problem.
I think they're willing to work around what's there and just grateful for the access.
There's nothing right now in the white garage building. It's just like grass.
As a safety aspect, I think we should get rid of that white garage sooner than later, because it's amazing that it's even standing.
okay.
What's that? We'll add that as future agenda item.
So I'll move that we give permission to Madeline Island Trails 501(c)(3) to use the Middle Road property for their cross-country ski trail.
And.
The shed? And the temporary.
Temporary shelter.
Yeah,
8x8 temporary shelter.
yes.
I will second that. If there's no further discussion, all in favor?
I,
Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion on student policies for part-time residents.
Tabled, right? We're gonna
Yep.
work on that. Let's just get it on the agenda for next meeting, and I don't know,
We could talk about it briefly,
Okay.
as far as
well, I just think we need to establish who's gonna work on this.
I'll volunteer.
Okay.
Okay.
That'd be great. So if we can keep it on the agenda for next, and Glenn will work on some resolution.
but it really should probably just be included to the tariff list and the tariff added back on.
One week, yeah.
Sure.
And I'm happy to help you.
Oh, okay.
I don't,
Excellent.
I would imagine there's some kind of reciprocity policy that Washburn.
I'll check with Washburn and Bayfield.
Something exists because I went through this with my own children.
We'll move on then to number 11, authorized chief administrative officer travel.
This is for the Kessinger PPA. I'll move that we approve the chief administrative officer's travel expenses to the PBA.
I'll
I'll
second.
second it.
Can I, I'm just curious, this is like 3 days before she's leaving. Shouldn't this been done like in September?
Didn't know about it back then. Yeah. Yes, ideally. You're absolutely right.
Is Rudder going?
She's fine.
You can't fly. I'm sorry, who seconded that? Is that?
Michael was quicker, but Susan was in there also.
Take notes.
I will. I did send out yesterday the agenda for the meeting as well.
We can live stream it.
Please.
I just said my vote.
Just saying.
You're gonna be updated while they're there, right?
I'll take my.
Okay. So we had a motion and a second. All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Have fun, Katie.
Mhm.
Enjoy Niagara Falls.
Where it is.
Well,
Cool. Next up, approval of bills.
I concur with the Post-it notes that were attached to those items.
So these are 3 separate. I mean, is there a cover total page?
There is. That's it. And that's just this, oh, I'm sorry, that one, it's
Okay.
just the second page under there, lists it all out.
All right. I'll move that we approve the bills in the amount of $187,429.96.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Motion carries. Review job descriptions for secretary and CAO positions.
Future agenda.
Future agenda items.
You just have the discussion of student policies for part-time residents and also discuss the Mill Road building things. For public buildings.
All I got.
Well, don't be the 2026 budget.
Yeah, I mean, I can include that as
Or
a,
part
as
of
an
your
agenda
report,
item.
sure.
Regardless, that would be an update in my report for the next meeting, but if you would like it as an.
I think we'll probably at some point need to either approve it or recommend it for approval to the town board. Future meeting dates?
This week.
I'm gonna be
It's
gone the week
Thursday.
after.
How about the 10th? in evening.
Oh, Monday the 10th? Yeah, I like that.
I might be gone, but I can Zoom.
And that would be a evening meeting?
Yep.
What did we, was it?
4:30.
4:30?
4:30.
Monday Night Football, I might go to Green Bay.
Okay, Zoom from
The
Lambeau.
Eagles. The Eagles will be at,
Oh, wait a minute, the 10th?
not till 7:15.
Oh, I'm gonna go to that game.
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
Shoopy and I might go also.
Yeah, my uncle lives in Brown County and was part of that the annual lottery. So he's got 4 tickets.
Will that work out okay for you guys?
Yeah, I'll do it from there. It'll be fun.
Okay.
But you and I can.
You guys.
Oh,
Yeah, from a
Vibrant stadium view.
Early.
We could move it to the following Thursday too, if it works, or move it.
I don't care. It's fine.
Yeah.
If I go, we'll figure it out.
Let's open the floor again to public comment. There's no public comment, then we'll move on to agenda item 16 or,
Cal was,
yep, go ahead, Cal.
Hey, sorry about that. I know
It's
it's
okay, we
sometimes hard
had a pop-up on the screen, so I couldn't see your hand.
I just want to do a quick, we've got a couple of weeks here, a few weeks before our next meeting. I just wanted to do a quick public update on, some objectives that we have at Miffle with, transportation as we're going into the cold months here. The Madeline is back online. We resolved some of the issue, but not completely. We're going to have to do some more tests while it's in the water. Doing some harmonic tests that will take place over the fall here. And then hopefully we can have a recommendation in spring as to, how do we want to go forward with, future solutions or fixes for that. With that being said, now that it's back in service, we are going to take offline the La Pointe just to do some catch-up maintenance before it becomes the primary boat until we get some heavy ice. That is the of course the nicest boat for passengers to ride in the mornings. So we're going to be working with our frequent flyers, ensuring that we have adequate heated spaces for everybody. I've reached out to Jackie, and I'm just going to reach out to a few more people to make sure that everybody's happy with that. But it'll be a combination of the Bayfield and Madeline working together to make sure we're getting everybody inside, warm, and then through the use of the travel van as well. But the La Pointe will be offline next week for a week just to get through some of that maintenance, but it is scheduled.
Thank you for that. Please make sure that the van is on there.
Yes, yeah, I just really want to make sure that
Bayfield.
everybody, it's a big priority for us, and we're going to make sure that, we're finding ways to keep everybody warm.
Great. Thank you.
Can I go back to future meeting dates?
Sure.
I'm wondering if we could set a tentative date for the presentation for the townspeople. It's the end of October. December's filling up.
What did we?
That should be a future agenda item.
First 2 weeks.
Of December.
We already kind of,
And is the annual budget meeting, Glenn, actually Monday, December 1st, or is it Monday, December 8th?
Question.
would it be on the
It's a big-
calendar?
Yeah,
Okay, grab it.
great or something.
I got it.
just as a note, I will be out of town on the 1st for a medical procedure.
Of December?
Yes,
I think it's this December 2nd is the town meeting.
Yeah, December 4th is the public hearing for the budget. That's a Thursday.
That can't be done.
That can't be.
Oh, so-
Do we want it to occur before the meeting? Is that the goal?
We had just said before, sometime in the first 2 weeks of December. I think she just wants to lock a date in.
I think the more time we can give Katie to kind of get the website established or the public information portal, that would help her, be helpful to her. And then even if she can't get it totally ready, if you can just have it ready to present, that, hey, this is going to be your access point. This is what will be available on it.
How about the 15th of December?
Okay.
Monday, the 15th,
After all the budget stuff.
Sure.
should be. Mr. Collins, how does that sound to you?
I will be gone.
So that'll be the special meeting. Oh, you're gone. Then
You want to be,
I'd like to be here because I think we're kind of gonna be a firing squad. And the more of us that are here, the better.
the 22nd, Monday, 22nd.
Most likely.
Yeah, that's good.
That's, yeah.
What
Doesn't
about-
have to be
What
on
about the
Monday.
week of the 8th? Sometime, the week of the 8th.
Like Thursday, the 11th.
How about Wednesday?
I mean, there's nothing, I mean, I just mean, is Wednesday better?
second, we have,
And Tuesday, the 9th, will be a town board meeting, right?
I have EMS at 5 on the top.
What we said about the 8th.
Well, is that I thought by statute, the public hearing and all that stuff for the budget was on Monday. It has to be presented by. And that it might be Monday, the 8th, which would not be.
Well, I guess we need to hold on setting that date till we know what the town meetings are.
Would that be a quick meeting, the public hearing for the budget? No.
Was last year.
It can be. It all
whether-
depends. It all depends if they need to go over the levy and ask for money and.
I mean, we could just have it following the, the public meeting or,
I think that makes sense.
people are already gonna be here.
Exactly.
But we don't know if it's the 1st or the 8th. That's the question.
So I propose that we just find that out and then set it.
Sure. It would be, personally, it'd be great if it could be before Saturday, the 13th.
Okay.
Sometime one of those first 2 weeks of December.
Maybe we could take on meetings.
It's a state stay. When that budget has to be presented to the municipality. The town people. Wherever it was on Monday, but don't quote me on that. That east, but it changed.
You just meet with Alex and find out.
I can text Michaela too.
Yeah, former clerks.
Are we ready now then to move on to?
Sorry.
Review job descriptions?
Yeah. Move that we go into closed session for the purpose of considering employment, promotion, compensation, evaluation of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction in accordance with Wisconsin statute 19.851C. And also that we will go into closed session to discuss, review the Mithil management contract under state statute 19.851E. And if we go into closed session, we'll reconvene an open session before adjourning.
Second that. And do a roll call vote. Mary Ross,
Aye.
Jay Woods.